Well, good morning. Hello, everybody. It's morning time. It's 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's Get Your Paint On time. Hello. I'm your host, Dallas. And with us today is our special guest. He's over there. He looks so handsome right now.
Special guest referee.
Oh, you reffing?
I'm reffing.
Oh, you calling fouls on me?
I'm not calling fouls on you. I'm calling fouls on anyone that might slight you during this.
Well, now everybody knows who it is because they know your voice. It's Mr. William Hungerford. Hello.
Hey, how's everybody doing out there today?
I like that little hey.
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 Hey, hello.
And running the panel today, the technical aspects in the electronic devices, and I think he's actually mixing beats at the exact same time, Mr. John Swinkles. That's exactly what I was expecting.
Hi, everybody.
Foul.
Yeah.
Foul. Foul. So today's not Get Your Paint On. Today's Get Your Hobby On. And I'm going to hobby the heck out of a Skarre boat. What's the boat called? Does anybody remember? Doug told us.
Yes. Somewhere. One moment.
This boat is called something. I can't remember the name
It
of it.
has a name.
Hungerford, do you remember the name of this boat?
Yes, it's Get Your Boat On.
Get your boat on. Boop, boop.
I think it's spelled ESS. So if I'm not mistaken, it's the SSSS.
SSSS?
Yeah.
SSSS?
Yeah.
SSSS. Make an assessment.
Was that from Naked Gun? I think that joke was from Naked Gun.
Seems legit.
That movie is a
National treasure.
That's a word. That's a way to put it. It's definitely got plenty of funny jokes.
Can we just talk about Airplane for a second then?
Dude, Airplane's one of my most favorite comedies of all
time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Airplane, Naked Gun, all those were great. He's got a drinking problem. Just throws a shot over his shoulder. It's so good.
All right, so I got this Skarre boat, and we're going to hobby it. We're just going to talk about some of the aspects of working with large resin kits and some of the tools you might want to look at and some of the ways to approach a big, complex, kind of complex. I mean, there's not very many parts. So all the parts are right here. This is the main core of the boat. There's a couple more bits. There's the Soul Wave. Spoosh. And there's the little accoutrements, but I'm not worried about those. I just want to get the main boat together. So there's not very many parts, but just a warning, if you're sensitive, we are going to be using a blow dryer because sometimes resin can be warped through different things can cause this. Temperature change, stuff like that is definitely a factor. I mean, definitely you never want to leave a resin kit in a hot car in the middle of summer. You're going to come home to a warped kit. But you can also use that to your advantage. So if you do have a warped piece, you can use your blow dryer. I prefer a blow dryer. It's safer than boiling water because I can't spill it on, a wandering child or a, random hedgehog.
You know what you should never use together? A blow dryer with boiling water.
Yes.
Like, that's just a bad combination.
Never do that at the same time.
You will flatten more than your model.
You should choose one or the other. So I'm just going to put this boat together.
I choose to just be awesome, throw caution to the wind, use both all the time.
Just use them both?
Privateer Press does not endorse any actions that John takes.
Yeah, don't do that. That's how I do when you hobby and you're hobbying with your blow dryer and your water. Are you listening to White Rabbit?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Also, you're getting your nugget in the way of.
They can see my head. I have no shame. My head's fine.
Well, it's a fantastic nugget. It was just blocking.
I got a little mold back there. I got a little mold over there.
And those of you watching us live, we are paying attention to the chat. Dallas is obviously focused on his hobbying, so we'll ask him any questions that you may direct towards him. If you're watching this on YouTube later on, you'll occasionally hear us say someone's name and a question. That's because, like I mentioned, we live stream this. Every Tuesday, we live stream Weekly Rumble at 10 a.m. Pacific, where you can watch us play games. Every Wednesday, we live stream the Dev Chat, where the developers talk about the game. Every Thursday, we live stream Dallas doing something awesome hobby-related. And occasionally, like tomorrow, we do the Primecast live stream, which is going to be happening, and that's going to be the second one ever.
You have a special co-host.
I have a special co-host.
You do have a special co-host. Schick is out of the office doing awesome things somewhere, and so Dallas is going to fill in for him tomorrow.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why didn't anybody tell me? I'm not prepared.
Meh, you'll be fine.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Is it Dallas? I thought it was Matt Getz.
Getz will be on a little bit later, but yeah, he's got some other stuff he's got to work on. So Dallas is going to be
I'm your co-host.
Special co-host Dallas.
your co-baller for the show tomorrow.
Awesome.
Look at us, back-to-back days working on the live streams.
I will have been on every stream this week.
Yep.
Nathan Howard has a question. Would boiling water in a hairdryer be a great way to destroy some mini crate models or molds?
Nope.
Nope.
Those molds withstand a tremendous amount of actually heat. Like
Tremendous amount.
tremendous.
Here's one that comes up a lot, and it's from Joey Epps, also watching live right now. He says, Dallas, how long did it take you to learn to paint to your level before you became a paint master?
Ugh. I don't consider myself a master right now.
Okay, well, so your humility aside, how long did it take you to get to your professional level?
Professional level, 3 years of very intense dedication to the point where I quit my job and become a freelancer.
So how many hours a week do you think you put in?
I was putting in 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week.
And 3 straight years of that.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, there's your answer. If you want to be a professional painter like our own Dallas, spend 3 years doing nothing but painting about 10 hours a day.
I mean, that's how I did it. That doesn't mean that's how everybody does it. That's what I did. And also getting feedback. That's the key part, is the feedback. Like finding Ron Cruzy was definitely a huge influence on my ability to get better, because I would find Ron at a convention, right? I'd go to a convention. I'd be like, Ron, here's my painting. And he would just, give me a real hard critique. Sometimes real hard, which is the best kind of critiques. And I always took him to heart, and I always listened to what he had to say, because that's the secret to a critique. Like a critique is an opinion to some extent, but you got to take it to heart, and you got to listen, and then put it to work, and then see what works and what doesn't work, and then get better from there.
But no, I think also just letting people know the amount of dedication you put in that level lets people know, like, you can be a good painter sometimes naturally, but anybody can do it. You just have to put time into it, right?
Yeah, I'm not natural.
It is definitely a learnable skill.
Yeah. Tony Konachek, everybody knows from Get Your Paint On, is a fantastic artist. But him and I use a hashtag together that we call hashtag no talent, just hard work. Because it's just practice. It's the 3 P's of painting. It's the patience, practice, perseverance. It's it's putting in the time, is I guess what the best way to say it. Right.
Like anything, like a doctor,
Yeah.
just practice.
Doctor, you're not a natural doctor.
Well, it's like that line in Doctor Strange when she's teaching him about magic, and he's like, how do I get from where I am to where you are? And she's like, how did you become a doctor?
Yeah.
Years of practice.
You got to put in that time.
So right now you're just dry fitting, seeing how it fits.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of you measure twice, cut once, right? So looking to see how the piece fits and what needs to be cleaned is always essential. And I'll sit here and fiddle with this for a few minutes, making sure I understand the part and what needs to happen to make it the fit I want to have. So
As you're working on this large resin piece, Grant asked, why aren't the majority of your miniatures cast in hard plastic? Resin and metal hold good detail, but they limit accessibility for people wanting to enter the hobby. Oh, Grant, unfortunately, none of us here are in production, so we couldn't really tell you exactly why we don't do everything in hard plastic, unless, Dallas, you feel like you have an answer, but
I have an opinion.
I have all the answers to that question, technically, because of my job. But the primary thing is resin we do in-house, and that's awesome. Like the guys back in the back that work here in our Seattle office, we do this resin and metal in-house. So this is American made. This is right here, and it's much faster turnover for me as the person who approves these kits.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have to wait for it to come from overseas or anything like that. So they're right here in house, and that makes it really awesome.
Versus the long wait time of having to do hard plastic.
Yep. And there's pros and cons to every material. Every
Every single
material has a pro and a con.
Yeah.
And we personally like the pros of this.
We've used hard plastic before. It's
Yeah.
just there's a lot of flexibility in the types of miniatures we produce in terms of like what we're trying to do. If we can cast it in hard plastic and do it that way, we will. If we need to do it in resin because of the reasons you stated, we will.
Then we will. Yeah.
Or it's because sometimes that is going to achieve the type of look we want for
Yeah.
a model. It's
There's a
down
lot-
to what level of hobbying we want to be involved with the
There's
model.
literally more factors than I can describe.
In 1 hour
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah, there's so many.
Yep. There's your answer, man. Just thought that was relevant because you're working on quite a large and highly detailed and frankly gorgeous resin piece.
Yeah, it's super awesome. I love this. I love working with resin personally. I find resin to be the most satisfying of the materials. That's me.
And so that's where my opinion comes in. Is I feel like I get to make it my own a little bit more.
Yeah. So there's a feed
Without
gate.
sacrificing, obviously, the work that went into it.
Yeah. There's a big feed gate here. Of course, I'm using the P3 hobby knife. This is your workhorse. This is your boy. This is old Blue. He always gets the job done. But there's always definitely a time where you need a different shape. So you can find some different shaped blades, which I'm using now, which works better for this particular cleanup part. So you can see I'm just making a heck of a mess, and I'm just slowly shaving this down because there's a feed port. The feeds come in right into there. So I'm just going to clean this out to make this fit.
So what do you have there, Josh? Just particularly like a piece of flash you're cleaning out, basically?
Yeah, it's just the leftover from the feed gate.
Gotcha.
I'm just slowly scraping it, and I'll turn it, change the angle like this, and just slice it away. Just slowly slice it away. There we go.
So Grammar Cowboy was speaking of awesome miniatures. I noticed a few of the Primal Terrors models were at Adepticon for pre-sales. The ballpark of when those models, including the succulent Chosen, will be hitting stores. The answer to the Chosen, at very least, will be June. And then GoLab and a number of the other Legion units will actually be available in May. I will pop the link to where you can see the release schedule. It's updated through June.
Man, GoLab and the Chosen.
Vandebeest just beat me to putting the link up.
Look at that. Vandebeest. I love that model for GoLab, and I love the models for the Chosen. So another trick I use is scraping. I know that's a terrible noise, but this is such... I don't see this enough when I'm watching people's hobby videos, is using that edge of that blade the opposite way and scraping, and you get to really just shave stuff down. It works really great on like edges. So like, let's find a... Oh, this piece is...
It sometimes feels like I get a little bit more control with the back of the blade or
You
with
do.
just the edge of the blade than I do with, say, even like files.
So like right here, if I were to slice like this, there's a chance of me cutting down into my piece. If I turn my blade the other way, so sharp way that way, and I do this.
Just like you were shaving with a straight razor.
Yep.
That's why they do that.
And I just shave.
Hungerford's dying.
Try to get as much that away from the mic as
Now
I
I'm
could.
dying.
Yeah, suck up all this resin powder. It's super good.
Well, luckily you're way over there.
Oh, that's a terrible noise, isn't it?
It's picking it up, but it's not so bad.
Okay, good. See, I just shave that down. Also, I'm a big fan of emery boards. You can polish that out.
Well, those are perfect for resin.
No, sorry about that, everybody. You ever just like swallow and
A
it goes down
fly?
the wrong pipe randomly?
Yep.
And you just start choking to death for no reason? Like, that just happened.
That means somebody's thinking of you.
I thought that was when your ears burned.
Oh. That's when somebody's talking about you.
Oh, somebody thinking about me. Was it you?
It was me.
All right.
Every
Stop trying to choke me to death with your thoughts.
It's a forced. Oh my gosh! I'm
Yeah.
a space monk.
You're a trancer.
I'm a trans. Oh god! Scanners. God, I'm gonna watch that movie tonight.
Scanners.
Milo
Yeah.
Bog says Skarre's ghost ship is called the Thermocharis.
Thermocharis. That sounds like a Greek god. Thermocrates.
Well, I know it was Pirate King Morcraig's boat
Yeah.
that was sunk. I just can't remember the name of the boat.
Yeah, she's just like, yo, there's a boat down there. It's got super cool magic items in it. Raise it from the depths with my magic knife.
With them undead dudes.
Oh man, I want to put Revenant all over my Skarre boat instead of Satixus.
Yeah.
Is that legal? Would that be
The
legal?
Revenant crew of the Atronach or something like that, maybe?
Would you allow that?
Would I allow that?
Yeah.
There's P3 models.
No. Sorry. The reason is that I mean, if you want the actual answer, it has to be indicative. Like, I know one's going to mistake it for not being that boat, but it has Satixus swinging cutlasses off of it as one of its attacks. So if you put,
Wait,
like,
is that actually the name of the attack?
yeah, it's like Satixus swinging off if they're swinging cutlasses. I guess if you,
Is that the name of the attack, or is it just Cutlass?
I think it's just cutlass actually. So if you put the Revenants with just their cutlasses and then have like the riflemen and stuff up there, I
No,
think
no
it'd be fine.
rifleman, just
Well, yeah, because
Cutlass.
there are Revenant that have the cutlasses. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Problem solved.
Yeah, just make sure you didn't use the ones that have like the rifles out and stuff like that. I think it'd be fine.
Atramentus, not Atronach. Thank you, Mila Boggs. He corrected me. I said it wrong.
I'm trying to remember. I don't have the card in front of me if it's just Cutlass or if it's Satixus Cutlass. But even if it was Satixus Cutlass, I could see you making the argument that the Cutlass the Revenants were holding were taken from Satixus. No one's going to mistake the boat for something else because the golden rule is of conversions. You hold the model up to your EO. You don't say anything. You don't try and influence them. And you say, what is this? And I doubt anyone's going to look at that boat and go, that's a Mountain King.
That's Severius.
That's Severius 1.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's your unit of Revenant.
It's my unit
Right,
of
it's my
Revenants
unit of
on a
Revenants.
movement base.
Yeah.
Oz confirmed it's just Cutlass. So yeah, it's just Cutlass. That means you could replace the Satixus on it with anything holding a Cutlass. If you
Sweet.
want to have whelps holding Cutlasses, well, actually, it could be anything holding
Blighted
Cutlasses.
whelps.
We don't have to say small. It could be 3 dire trolls with Cutlasses.
Blighted whelps.
I like the idea. of
Could it just be
blighted whelps.
cutlasses on flight bases?
It could be Cutlasses holding Cutlasses.
Word.
All right, chat, let us know. Now that we have confirmed you can swap out the Satixus if you feel like it. You can't swap out Skarre. Skarre still needs to be
No,
there.
Scar. I wouldn't swap out Scar at all.
But what would you, if you were going to do a crazy conversion, what would you put on the deck of the ship to be swinging the Cutlasses?
I mean,
I might put Bloody Buccaneer Scar on there.
instead of Scar 3.
Yeah, I might. The exclusive model.
I know
It's
which one you're
dope.
talking about.
It's dope. Super dope. And plus, she's got that captain-like perch going on. She's standing there all, ha-ha.
It looks like a certain type of rum.
Right. And she has a beverage.
What would I put on the boat? What would you put on the boat? I mean, you said Revenant. But
I'm putting Revenant because,
Revenant?
because my whole Crix army, I don't do living Crix. I do only pirate undead Crix.
Well, and you were even talking about
Scar, like your
And
one,
Scar,
like
yeah.
your one living thing.
Scar is literally my only warcaster I own for Crix.
So the other thing that, if I remember correctly, was you were thinking about for yours swapping out the actual the ghosties at the bottom for something else.
Yeah, I was thinking about leaving the Soul Wave off and mounting the whole ship on the back of a Kraken like a big ass hermit crab.
And then give us tentacle noodly arms, the cutlasses.
I'm not doing that.
So, check this out.
That I'm not doing.
You replace the Soul Wave underneath with like a Lightning Storm, custom, made. You replace all the Satixus with Squires holding Cutlasses, and you replace the wheel with the ball from the top of a Storm Strider.
And I just have a Storm Strider.
No, you still have a boat. But like instead of you spinning the wheel, she's got her hands over the ball of the Storm Strider, and there's a bunch of little Squires with bandanas with Cutlasses up on the side, and she's like riding the lightning.
She's
And you give
literally riding
the
Yeah.
little squires the little bandanas, even though they have
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
faces,
Yeah,
but you
Squires
give
have
them little
bandanas
bandanas
and eye patches.
Yes.
Oh my god, I do love
Yes.
the idea of pirate squires.
Well, two squires.
Initiate
One-
Yar
one-
protocol. Yar.
Yar,
Yar.
yar,
Yar.
yar,
Yar.
2 squires, 1 pig, 1 blighted pig.
So,
I broke Hungerford somehow.
I love squires.
I can't say what I was thinking.
I love squires. I used to way back when I used to run a lot of tournaments, right? And one of the tournaments I would run every year was called the Traitors Tournament, and you were allowed to take it was an escalation type event, right? So the first round was 15 points. Then when it's like 25 points and 30 or 50, whatever. But the first round, you were able to have a solo from any faction in your army as a friendly faction unit.
Because they were the traitor.
Yeah, they were the traitor. And then the next round, you got to add a unit, and the next round you got to add a jack. So I used to have a Zerkova list for this that had a squire, and I actually made a little Kador squire.
Did he have a little Grey Lord hat?
He didn't, but now we have a little Grey Lord hat, and I kind of want to put a little Grey Lord hat on my little
Nice.
squire bot.
That would taking little tiny things like that and making them adorable.
It's the best part of this hobby.
Also, speaking of just fun parts of fluff, Grammar Cowboy mentioned that you know how I'm always talking about the life of the average IK citizen and how
it's
horrifying it is.
absolutely
Miserable.
So he's saying how he
terrible.
feels that this boat is just yet another saga, another chapter in the ongoing saga of the poor Imran farmer. Some dude's just working the field, and all of a sudden, a friggin' ghost boat comes flying out of nowhere. Bunch of drunk squires going yar yar yar. Scar's just shooting cannons for no reason.
For no
just
reason. She's not even shooting
obliterating cows. I imagine she has a tiny cowboy hat and she's just wooing. Woo!
Scar is not a woo girl.
Folks, never go to Western Emeren. It's a terrible
Oh,
place.
a terrible place.
It's literally the worst.
Okay, so
Like if you're just average Joe dirt farmer,
average Joe Dirt Farmer is having a real bad day.
real bad day, or if your name is Holden.
No,
Holden's not.
poor Holden.
Poor Holden.
Holden got wrecked.
Holden got added to the best outcome could have happened to Holden.
The worst.
The best.
What are you working on right now, Dallas?
So I'm gonna make the little Scar Raven main symbol. Fits back here. I got some shaving to do to make that work, so I'm gonna shave down the edges just a scooch, and I'm always shave a little bit. Don't shave a lot. Shave a little bit, test your fit. Shave a little bit, test your fit. Shave a little bit, test your fit. Shave a little bit, test your fit.
Okay, somebody needs to take an audio sample of that and put a backbeat behind it.
Yeah.
The system is down. The system is down.
Shave a little bit, test your fit. Shave a little bit, test your fit.
Shave a little bit, test your fit. Shave it down, test your fit. Don't you know it will fit if you shave it down and test your fit.
All right, let's go be rappers.
Now
All right,
glue it.
yep.
Now glue it. See, look how easy that was. Easy peasy, short and breezy. Okay. So that fits. Look out. Man, I don't even need to glue that. I do.
Sabian Asher just following up. It says, what would Merc Holden have been like? Awesome, but he got betrayed, so now it'll never happen.
He would have been amazing. I was actually really hoping
Nah,
for
he
Mark
would have been
Holden.
terrible.
He was a
Be
Merc minion that was going to have Vendetta Grimkin along with a lot of other cool things.
Be happy he went Grimkin.
He is freaking delicious.
His gun was
as a
going to make
Grimkin,
things
though.
lose incorporeal and do a bunch of other cool stuff. He had options. He'd have gone through CID, so
I
we'll never know
think
what his
he's got
his
options
final
as a
version would have
Grimkin.
looked like.
I would have preferred Merc, but I think as a Grimkin model, he's actually pretty freaking dope.
I'm all in of, things happen for a reason, and Holden got what he deserved, and
Poor Holden. Poor Holden, man.
Team Hollow Holden right here. Yeah. Team Hollow Holden.
I think it's funny that I'm kind of like, middle of the road. I can appreciate what he's become. I would have preferred the other. Whereas Hungerford is just straight up Merc. And Dallas is all like, oh, well, yeah, because you would have wanted to take Holden with your gators.
He probably would have only worked in Will Work for Food.
Yeah,
so
but he could have been a gator, bro.
I mean, not in Blind Water, but in Will Work for Food, I could have.
Well, no, he doesn't. I mean, where does he even?
There are weirder people that will work with the Blind Water.
Sure, but
that's true. That's real true.
They're yeah. Can I just talk about how much I love Blind Water? Oh, I wonder if I can convert this boat to be like a cool. Oh my god,
Dracodile on the
my
boat.
Dracodile's not done yet.
You could.
Boat on a Dracodile.
No, have the Dracodile on the boat. Like make it a racked boat.
Yeah, and he's stepping on it.
He's stepping on it.
And there's a little scar underneath him.
like smush Scar.
like smushed underneath him.
Like the smushed pig on the pig barrel
Yeah,
rider.
and like towards the back of the boat, I'm gonna use a flight stand and have a little squire with a bandana and an eye patch jumping off the boat, fleeing.
Yeah, woo! I'm out of here.
Activate to the moon. Retreat. Protocol.
Retreat.
Holy
Squares.
crap! I think I might legit do that.
Yeah, you could totally
So-
do that.
And Dallas, while you're kind of buffing there, quick rundown of the tools you're using.
I'm just using the P3 hobby knife, the P3 clippers, and then I got a couple just like little odd shaped knives that I'm using for like little hard to reach places.
Sure. And then,
Oh,
depending on where necessary, we've got that hair dryer for.
And I got the hair dryer, which I'm sure will happen. Everybody should have a hair dryer. Hair dryer, like if you're a hobbyist, if you're doing any sort of hobbying, you need a hair dryer. You can get one real cheap,
dirt cheap,
because
it does not need to be a good one.
Like-
You do not need to get fancy with this piece of equipment.
seriously, PM me. I'll send you a link. They're real cheap. But you should have one because I use it to dry my paints. Because
So you can move right onto that next layer. Boom.
yeah, it always drives me nuts when I see somebody like, oh, I'm waiting for my paints to dry. I'm like, why?
Well, especially here in the Northwest where it's pretty moist. Like paint drying can take a while.
Except in the summer.
Yeah, no.
Man, in the summer when I
like,
paint,
sometimes like
my
the
paint
heat-
dries
the-
like literally. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, let me take it off my palette and put it on my. Whoop, it's dry.
Yup.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is also is like I get a lot of questions like what ratio of water to paint, and I'm like that's a loaded question. It's not a real answer because it all depends on where you live, right? And it all depends on what time of year it is. Like the ratio is the right ratio. You have to
But also the type of paint, right? Like some paints are just naturally thinner than others. Like you're not going to have to water down, like say a light yellow or a white as much as you would have to do like a dark red, for example.
yeah, and then
So
and
especially
yeah,
depending on the effect you're going for.
and your effect and just where you live and the time of year. So you play with it. Like I don't just go, I add 2 drops water paint. Oh, right. You kind of, that's why like you see if you watch me paint, like I run it across like a piece of plastic or the edge of my I'm testing it. I'm seeing what the paint is doing. And that's why like look at my thumb. I painted last night. It's still on my hand. I'm a monster.
I have never seen you without
Without
paint
the
on your
paint
hand.
on my hand, yeah.
Here's a trick: you get a mason jar full of water. You
I thought this was going somewhere else.
You dump the entire pot
I
of
thought this
paint
was going
into the mason
south.
jar full of water. You dump your model in that, and then you just throw the whole thing away because you ruined your model. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't
In
listen.
fact, yeah, just
Don't
about
listen to
anything
him.
Hungerford suggests, just don't do.
He's gone full mad. All right, just clipping pots. Snip. Throw away in the trash. Man, I'm
With the
covered in-
level of detail and the shape of these pieces, I'm actually kind of impressed with there's not actually a ton of cleanup required in comparison to some other resin kits I've seen.
our mold makers. I mean, I know that a lot of people in the community probably don't know our mold makers and our production staff. So I'm going to speak a little bit for them. If am I allowed to? Can I talk about those guys a little bit?
That
all
they're
good.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are super dedicated to making high quality miniatures. There's some fantastic people out there who do some great cleanup. Chris, Eric, Kaylin, James, like all these guys are super fantastic. Kelly. There's just a whole bunch of really fantastic folks that I get the privilege, and I'm going to say privilege, like honestly, of working with every day to make these kits. And we are constantly improving our process and analyzing the process and creating new processes, to be perfectly honest, of making these kits. And they are very dedicated to their jobs, and they love what we make, and they love making high quality
Oh,
miniatures.
I can actually sit there and watch them do their jobs all day.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I can't because I'm too busy, but
I mean, that's why I said my privilege. Like I work very closely with them, so it's.
well, and they know their stuff. Like if you go like ask any of them questions about
they
this,
know
that, or
it.
the other thing, like you get the full rundown, and it's not like some like weird obtuse thing. It's just they know.
Yeah,
their
it's
stuff.
like this is how it works, dog. And you're like, oh, right on, cool.
All right, $1 million
Those
idea.
guys are dope.
We're gonna build a ride that goes through Privateer Press, kind of like the Haunted Mansion at Disney. And
See,
it's gonna
I'm just
take you by all
imagining the boat ride from Willy Wonka.
Dude, what? I'll do the boat ride from Willy Wonka, like Splash Mountain. But anyway, it's going to take you through every department, and you're just going to get to watch. And we'll be behind like glass windows. So you can't
Like Jurassic Park.
Like Jurassic Park, yeah. And you go by very slowly. And there's a couple little fun drops, and the animatronics of like Big Blue, and
Are we gonna?
yeah.
I think JR just had an aneurysm. He just exploded out in the warehouse. Just poof. Why?
But yeah, you come ride Privateer Falls, right? And you just like go through the water and everything, and like you drop down the big slides, and you pass by the little our actual working offices, and you can watch me and Pagani wrestle on the floor, and you can watch
Because that's
Dallas
literally
paint.
all you do.
Yeah, you can watch Oz scold everybody, and you can watch like the mold makers do their work and work their magic.
as you go through each department, you can watch me be in all of them.
Oh, and like when you go to like a brewery, at the end of it, you're given a single model that was made while you were on the ride, and a shot of rum.
That would be the best thing ever.
All right,
I
got to call Matt
I
real
already
fast.
like
I think
coming
Matt
to work.
just had an aneurysm.
I already like coming to work. I would never leave.
Well, you couldn't see because you're
'Cause
part
you're
of
in
the
a glass
attraction.
cage.
Yeah,
Right.
You're part of the attraction here, so there is no real leaving. Like,
This isn't a ride. This is a zoo.
don't worry, a cleanup crew will come by to swab you down every day. But aside from that, you,
Just a sponge on a stick.
yeah, you are P3 super glued to your seat.
Well, that doesn't work for me. I literally have to go to like every department multiple times a day. That's why while people are on the ride, they would see me at every stop.
There's email. You're fine.
It's not how that works, dog.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can get Matt to approve Privateer Falls, and we're gonna create this ride.
Privateer Press. The experience.
That's more like Universal Studios style, right? If
Yeah.
I did it like that, Privateer Press, the experience in 3D.
When we say 3D, that just means we throw things at you.
Decepticat says P3, Privateer Press Prison.
Hey Dallas, what you working on right now, man?
I'm still just cleaning it up. There's just like
Scrape.
I like where
test,
these
scrape,
injection ports are
scrape,
put. They're
test.
right on the top where there's no detail. So you just got to clean it up for the fit. Easy peasy, short and breezy.
If you're just joining us, what we're doing today, or what Dallas is doing, me and John are mainly just being weirdos back here. But
I'm building
Dallas
a
is
boat.
cleaning
keeping
up
the
his
stuff
boat,
running.
his Skarre 3 boat.
I am the one that is in tune with the internets to make the magic go out to the people.
You press the space bar, dog.
I
It's like
sure
it's
do.
like being at an EDM concert. I know how much you do.
It's literally like an EDM concert.
I love EDM.
It's just an apple.
That's why I was giving you that look.
It's just an
like,
apple.
It's like
I
I've
was-
been in your car, dog. I know what you listen to.
I was at an EDM show the other day. I watched them really closely. They pressed a couple buttons. Music was good.
Oh man, the first time I saw a band that was very much EDM, and I'm like, because the band in front of them was like, 2 guitarists, a bassist, a drummer, and a singer, and I'm like, yeah, I'm having fun. And then 2 people walk out with laptops, and I was like, wait, what?
Hey.
They were not entertaining.
We are-
The music was good.
We are
Yeah.
going to make some music for you with the bleep loops.
The music was good, but entertainment wise,
Well,
boring.
yeah, and I jest, but I have like there is technical skill required to actually do what they
Absolutely.
do. It is not pressing a space bar.
I-
like there's a lot of
From the outside looking in,
yeah. From the outside looking in, you're like, what are they doing? They're just turning knobs and pressing buttons. On the inside, though, it's like way more intense than that.
Well, and the pre-production, right? All the stuff that has to go into setting it all up so
Yeah.
they can turn dials and press buttons.
This SpongeBob theme song ain't gonna sample itself.
Wow.
I was just singing that song downstairs in the studio.
So I would actually love to get Clancy Brown to do a cover of Dallas's like theme song that he sings at the beginning of Get Your Paint On.
No, the Company of Iron theme that I can't remember the words
like
to.
we just get an album, we get Clancy Brown to cover like all your songs with you in the background, so
Oh,
you're
man.
still there.
I love Clancy Brown. If you don't know who Clancy Brown is, you are missing out.
There's something wrong with your life. He's the Kurgan.
It's true.
He's many other things as well, but he's the freaking Kurgan.
Yeah.
What's the Kurgan?
I'm not even gonna friggin' dignify that.
Hungy. Come on.
You know exactly who it is.
Is that a sandwich?
It should be.
I would totally eat that.
I would eat the Kurgan sandwich.
Like if I were held up to any delicatessen and I'm like looking at the menu and you're like,
Let me get the Kurgan.
and I'm like, all right, so they got
Hold the
ham on
mayo.
rye. All right, they got the big beef Sally. All right, cool. All right, what's this? The Kurgan?
Yeah.
It's
just-
like
you just order it.
it's like all the meats
And it
the
doesn't even
coleslaw is
say
on the
what it
sandwich.
is.
And
It's
got,
just
like
a
blood
name.
cabbage.
It's just a name.
So we have two quick questions that we're going to go through chat. First off, Pat says, will it be Chuck E. Cheese or Disney animatronic style on the Privateer Press Falls ride? It's going to be our own.
Yeah, it's our own thing.
Yeah, it's basically
We got mold makers.
We're gonna
Yeah.
give Danny and Stu like power tools and just let them go at it.
Yeah, we're going to use Voodoo. And Seth says Five Nights at Freddy's, which I think is more apropos. But here's an actual question. Kaylin says, and I'll read the whole thing because it's about a paragraph. Hi, Dallas. I'm coming in a little late. I know you have been following some of these Scar 3 threads in the Cricks group. I was wondering, with your model, did you have any of the problems that you've seen otherwise? Were any of those small problems easily fixable, like any warping? Well, you've got your blow dryer out. Like, were there any imperfections in your model, and how were you able to address those?
I think the word imperfection might be a misnomer on some of those problems. I have been following those threads very, very closely. I know there's a poll, Dustin, I can't pronounce your last name, buddy. Sorry. I think Wingert
Yeah.
posted, and I've definitely been following those. Like I said, I work really closely with production, and so that's good feedback. A lot of them aren't necessarily like flaws, but just a residual outcome of resin. So like the fit, if you watch, the fit of this didn't work. So I just shaved it down, and it took me what, 5 minutes?
Less than that for that
Like
piece.
less. I just shaved it down, and now it fits.
And it only took that much time because you were being super careful.
Yeah, I'm being super careful, and also just
Trying to show
trying to
the
stay out
detail.
of cameras, and like I got a lot to think about. I'm not just hobbying. I got a lot to think about maintaining a conversation with Hungerford, which is always just a chore.
A nightmare.
Just a
Just a nightmare.
Well, and then but to address another question that it wasn't really spoken in there other than like say like if something shows up with broken pieces. Mispack.privateerpress.com. Stuff happens. Sometimes it's in shipping. Sometimes it's whatever.
Yeah.
There's a human element. However, the folks that we've got down there, like Matt and Jack and a couple of the other people that handle like the customer service
Faye.
side of things, are especially Faye. She knows like everything. She knows like every single one of our products, like inside and out. It's amazing. Anyway, they provide amazing customer service.
Yeah, if
And
it's
so if there's
actually
something that is
broke-
actually wrong or you think might be wrong, we're
That's
going
what-
to take care of you.
That's why I was bringing this question up to your attention, is because I wanted you to really just say what you were saying, Dallas, is that like if you see problems like this, you can post them online. You know, there's a lot of us active on social media, but there is aspects of the resin making process that not everything is an actual problem. It just works that way and it can be fixed. And I
Yeah.
know that you've covered a lot of that in tutorials and online on how to fix those.
yeah.
So, you know, if you've got a particularly rough problem that you're not sure how to fix, also there's a lot of hobbyists out there. You know, you can go to any of the Facebook groups or any other social media and talk to people, and you can find some very relatively quick fixes for any small problems.
Yeah.
So someone let Danny out of his pit and onto the internet because one,
Hang on. Well, I feel like there was more to that. Where's that at?
it's
Did you have any problems that were mentioned?
Right
in the,
down
yeah,
here.
warping, filling.
Yeah, no,
Warping. Okay, yeah, I wanted to, like I have. There's my lower deck. I don't know if you can see this very well.
I may have grabbed that one specifically for this part.
Oh, see, I was set up for this. Like this is warped, so I'm gonna fix it. I don't consider this a problem personally. This is just a aspect of resin that this thing might have went to, or your piece might have went to, or this might have set somewhere where it was warmer and it went somewhere where it was colder. It's also very thin. Warning.
Let me know. I have Dallas muted at the moment because he's playing with a blow dryer, and that will destroy your eardrums if I left him unmuted. But basically, he's just going to heat it up just a little bit. It's on low. He's not blasting it like crazy. And he's just getting it to a point where it's slightly pliable, and then he's just basically going to hold it in place in the shape he wants, and it'll reset itself.
Now, did he tell everybody about the actual magic he has loaded into the blow dryer?
No.
Yeah, Voodoo is required to make this work. I think.
So
Yeah.
then I'm just going to stretch. I'm just going to hold it, stretch it. I'm going to pull it taut. Like I'm really pulling it and trying to get, and I'm looking straight on it to make sure it's level. I'm just going to sit here holding it, pulling it taut. I'm looking right down the top and the bottom of it, straight on. I know you can't see exactly what I'm doing, but I'm looking, making sure it's hold, and
Boom.
now I have a straight piece. And I might refine that here in a little bit once I go to actually test it. Other parts like ill-fitting, it's just,
Air quotes. Yeah.
it's got like some build on the side. You just shave it, right? It's also any part that you can't see, it doesn't matter. Any part that I can't see, I will damage. I'll be like, you know what? Like the bottom of this boat, if there was something here, no one's ever going to see this. It's going to be covered by a soul wave, or in my case, might be a kraken. I'll tear that apart. It doesn't matter to me because it's never going to be seen.
But you'll only know that if you do test fits first.
Test fits.
Because you don't want to accidentally,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, how many times have I test fit this? Like, I just keep looking at, making sure it's the way I want it to look and seeing if I need to adjust it. And I don't feel like I do. I do feel like I need to push it a little bit, and there will be a little gap filling there here in a minute. Maybe I need to shave that down is what I'm seeing.
Dallas, on Twitch, One Up Kid and Von Helger both say that they use hot water instead of the blow dryer. Why do you use a blow dryer instead of water? You mentioned earlier that's what you prefer
I have an answer to that too.
I prefer that for safety.
for safety reasons.
Boiling water you can spill on a wandering hedgehog.
Oh,
Think about how sad that would make you.
So the whole reason I prefer using a blow dryer versus hot water
It's
is
at
I
my
get,
desk.
Well, that, right? It's always like right there. But we'll call that a gimme. But the main reason is I feel like I have way more control
You
over
do.
over what I'm doing with a blow dryer versus, having to dunk something in hot water, pull it out, get it to sit where I want it to, and then as it's cooling, because it's going to cool down a lot faster because of the temperature difference, you can actually get more warping.
Like I saw a post, like I'm holding this on here, and they're like, this gap on the bottom, and to me, that's not a problem. It's on the bottom. The always going to cover it. No one's going to see it.
Yep.
So that gap, that's not a gap. That's just there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and glue that on. I feel comfortable with that piece.
Deathtrap82 on Twitch says he prefers to use cursing and brute force. Doesn't work out so well usually there.
Especially depending on some of them, you can't. So the piece that was warped that Dow's just fixed with the blow dryer, I lied. I didn't go grab a warped piece. I took the one I had and I took it between my thumb and forefinger and just kind of rubbed it back and forth for friction for a little bit to warm up that area and just let it kind of warp naturally.
Look,
But that's not going to work. On
as a
all
person
pieces.
like Dallas, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So I get the brute force thing, but sometimes you just got patience, practice, perseverance. I'm just gonna always say it. It's a hobby. It's a resin kit. There's work to be done. Right?
And of course, Danny's
Whoops.
throwing in a whole bunch of other little tidbits. Like if you heat the resin, then hit it with upside down canned air to freeze it. It won't spring back over time. Resin likes to warp due to its memory, so on and so forth. There's all kinds of fun stuff to play with.
Sinistar 359 though says when you're talking about not using water because you don't want to hurt a hedgehog, which I love hedgehogs. They are one of my favorite animals.
They're so adorable.
You know that, right? I love.
Yeah, I do know.
You know my hedgehog.
That's literally why I said that. I
Okay.
saw your Christmas ornament.
Yeah, we'll go over that in a second. But Sinistar 359 said on Twitch, a hedgehog is a small sacrifice to make to Turok. Sinistar, shut your mouth.
Jesus.
You never say that about hedgehogs. They are innocent, adorable little spiky angels.
They are
little
so
danger
adorable.
mouses.
They are
don't care.
danger mouse.
Wow, you got Hungerford all riled up.
So, and the other reason, like I said, hot water is fine. Use whatever you want, man. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to
Yeah,
tell
everyone's
you,
got
I'm here
preferences.
to give you some ideas. But to me, the blow dryer is right by your desk. You
Sure.
should have that for painting.
Yeah.
So you don't have to get up. You don't have to
You
get
don't
up
have
hot
to.
wire.
Yeah.
Like you got the hair dryer. It's right there. Put it to work. It's a good tool that you should just have.
I'm about to ban Danny from chat
You should just
because
ban it.
he wants to use the power tools to make the animatronics for the ride, and now he's calling them
Oh
Danimatronics.
my god.
Danny, you're fired.
Danny,
I don't have the authority, but I'm invoking I think I get one a year. right? Every one of us
Is
gets
that
like
how
one
that
a year that
works?
we can like fire either like I mean they're not actually fired, right? They lose their pay and it goes to me.
Pope Protection asks, no accelerator. I generally don't use it when regluing. It removes paint, but any particular reason I don't use it? Accelerator accelerates, but it also weakens.
It makes it brittle, right?
Yeah, it makes it brittle.
Careful, you're wobbling the camera.
Oh, I'm
behind
sorry. I
you.
didn't mean to
It's all
wobble the
good.
camera.
One Up Kid says, "What do I think's in the gator pot? Hedgehogs? No. Everybody needs to leave hedgehogs out of this.
Leave the hedgehogs out of this. Look, there's two glorious animals in the world.
Ducks and hedgehogs.
No.
Baby ducks and hedgehogs.
Baby ducks are amazing.
Baby ducks are adorable, but they're not the two most glorious animals. It's hedgehogs and otters.
Otters are great.
No.
But if someone came down and they're like, "Look, dog, we're gonna kill everything. You get to pick two," and I'm like, "Are humans included in that?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Keep hedgehogs and baby ducks."
Otters are literally angels that live among us.
No, that's hedgehogs. They're little spike
it's
angels.
otters.
They crawl out of heaven.
It's otters.
They crawl out
The
of heaven.
little ocean angels.
Listen,
I swear to God.
baby,
We're going to fight again today.
baby ducks are made of clouds from heaven, and they deliver hedgehogs.
No.
Yes.
It's otters.
Yeah, no.
Look at them. They lay on their back and they hold hands.
I know they do.
They hold hands.
They're animatronics. I have a bad news for you. They're not real.
You, sir, are crossing a line. There's a line in the sand.
That's fine.
The things we learn on Get Your Paint On.
Hungerford's love of hedgehogs, my love of otters.
I had a hedgehog. He was the best thing ever.
I can't own a otter. It's stupid. I want an otter to take a bath with.
No, you don't. They get bitey.
That's okay. So
No.
do I.
Okay, bro. If I ever walk in your house and you're biting an otter in your tub, like I'll be like, "Oh,
Time to go.
well, Dallas has finally gone there."
Game over, man. Game over.
Hedgehogs are amazing.
Otters are amazing.
Dude, they make that little huffy noise and they ball up and they just run around.
Otters are amazing.
So, what are you working on right now? I mean, we know we're going off about animals at the moment, but are you still just gluing your pieces together at the moment?
I get stuff clean and I glue it.
And those of
glue
you
it
in
down.
chat, if you have any hobby-related questions, especially working on big resin pieces like
Now's the
this,
time.
now's the time to ask. This, Dallas likes to answer your questions, and usually we stay on point about. But you can ask any random thing. I like that I said that seriously. Usually we stay on topic. So today, if you got any really hobby questions or working with large resin, let us know. But at the same time, if you're like, "Hey, I'm trying to paint a bee, and I want to know how to get really straight lines to do the yellow and black striping, and how should I shade and highlight my bee bottom?"
Bee bottoms are
Or
super adorable.
I'm painting hedgehog quills, and I want to get that that salt and pepper mix. How can I achieve that? Dallas has all the answers.
Otter
by the way.
kisses. That's what they're painting. You paint with otter kisses. Oh God, otters are so adorable. I love them so much.
I mean, I'm not saying they're not adorable, but I'm saying at the end, post hunger apocalypse, it's just baby ducks and hedgehogs, bruh.
Baby ducks are cute, especially
Oh
when
my-
they're all walking in a little line.
Oh my
They're so
God.
adorable.
I might leave today and go to the zoo.
Go to the zoo. Let's go to the zoo.
Let's just go to the zoo,
Screw it.
man.
Let's
They've
just
got
take a day
otters.
off. They do have otters.
They've got baby ducks.
Yep.
They don't have hedgehogs.
Well, that's a bad zoo. Wait, are you serious? They don't have hedgehogs?
Nah, dog.
They don't-
Hedgehogs are that's like keeping a cat in a zoo, right? Like nobody does it.
I mean, there's lions.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about like a house cat.
And your point?
Matthew Bunting says he's well. I don't know if I can ask this one. Sorry, Matthew. I can't say that one right now, my friend. No, nothing there. Oh, here's one from Sabian. How would you paint the soles to look like they're coming out of the ocean?
How would I paint the soles to look like they're coming out of the ocean?
Yeah, so I guess if we're talking about on what the parts of the base you can see, we're doing a water effect, right? So we're gonna have it actually look like water, and we want
Sure.
this thing to look like the soles are coming up out of the water.
I would go full on water effect base and submerge the soles in realistic water.
And I'd probably like put some of that, some of the, like, so say you paint it like you do the studio scheme, right? The soul wave has the necrotic green energy going on.
Yeah.
I'd probably replicate some of that under the water to look like that light is kind of coming up through the water as well.
Well, if you do clear water effects and you paint the soul first, which you would,
Yep.
you're going to get that anyways. And a good way to add necrotite color to your water effects, if you wanted to like mix it in there, is to mix yellow ink and green ink together.
Yep.
Those make a necrotite-ish color. You can add a touch of necrotite green to enhance it, but yellow ink and green ink mixed together will get you a necrotite-like flavor.
Flavor. I like that.
Flavor.
It's the flavor that I'm bringing.
The flavor you can savor.
Dark Wizards has a question, Dallas. I'm not sure if you can answer this one, so I'm going to ask you. And this is just one. If you say, "Hey, I can't," then don't answer it. Okay.
Okay.
He says, "What do you use for realistic water effects?"
Yeah, I can't. We're not. I mean, brand. I can't say brands.
Okay.
They get cranky,
They get cranky.
which is weird, but they do.
Yeah, and there's a couple questions asking what water effects you recommend. So everybody asking that one, sorry, that's not one we can really answer for you at this time.
Do your research.
There's many options. There's not a one stop answer because sometimes you want different effects.
Yeah.
And there are lots of ways to find information on which ones do what.
Yeah, everybody's cool about it in chat. They understand. Spellspark says that their city zoo has a wild guinea pig.
A wild guinea pig.
Here's an interesting one. Forged of Souls says, how do you prep these large models for easy transport? So
Lots of foam.
I guess the question, and I think we might break this down, is when you are building a big model like this and you know that you're going to be taking it to events later on, do you create it in sub-assemblies that you paint separately and then foam separately? Like when the Archangel's wings, like when you look at the battle foam for them, they've got two slots to actually like magnetize or do sub-assemblies on the wings and then put them on when you're actually playing with the model. Do you ever do anything like that?
Do I personally?
Yes.
I don't. I'm a madman.
So you're going to bring the whole boat
Yeah.
intact as is. Okay, so if you have the whole boat intact,
same
how would
way.
you try and transport that?
I custom out a piece of foam. Like I buy an extra piece of foam and I carve it up. So like so we transport models a lot. That is part of our job, and it's the studio's job to actually pack those battle foam bags.
Yep.
And so we will take, like, you have a foam like this, and you put a model in there. You go, bink 'em, right? And then like maybe it stands up like this tall, right? What we'll do is, this is what I do personally too, is I'll take another piece of foam and I'll do that, and then I'll maybe shove some foam up in there to make it from wobbling. That's what I do, but I'm a monster.
I do the same thing, and it's just, test and fit kind of a thing. But I also keep all of the foam from my blisters.
Oh yeah, I keep all that.
I keep all of that. One, there's some weathering effects I like to do with the pieces of it and some different paint stuff I like to do with chunks of that stuff from time to time. But also because it makes great filler foam.
Yep, it's all that foam you get when you buy a blister. Keep that stuff. It's good for filler and sponge weathering. Yep.
What I do is I take my model, I shove it into a sock, and then I get a fire extinguisher, and I just empty that inside the sock to really create like a good foamy casing around the miniature. Then when I get to the event, just throw the whole thing in the trash.
That's
You go through a lot of models.
I go through a lot of models. I
Like
go through
a
a
lot.
lot of models.
Yeah.
I'm on like Dracula number 15.
I'm telling production.
You go ahead. They're already suspicious that I'm up to something.
Peach, real bad. Sorry for blowing people's eardrums.
What was that other thing? Yeah. Also, I'm not afraid of repairs. Like, I just accept the fact that sometimes I gotta fix stuff.
I like one up kit heavy earth magnets on the base, like a lot of them, then stick it to your car, bitchin' hood ornament.
Kaylin has a painting question regarding the boat. What P3 paints would you use to get a dark brown, almost black look for the deck?
Umber.
Umber mixed with Thamar black and
Boom.
brown ink.
Da-da-da-da-da. And play with the mix. And what's cool is because it's wood, it doesn't all have to be one color. So a little bit of gradient's just fine.
So the best way to paint this wood in a quick manner would actually be the zenithal priming. So prime it black and then give it like an overcoat of white from about a 45-degree angle. So that way, so like if this is side of boat, that way the white gets into this part, but the black is on the underside of each of these boards, right? So you get the white coming down. And then what I would do is I'd probably do Battlefield Brown, Umber Lumber, Brown Ink, Thamar Black. Start with a Battlefield Brown, do a glaze, and then that way you get that just initial brownness to it, and then the white is shining through because you're glazing. And then mix, and then start into your Umber Lumber, Thamar, and glaze that. And then if you needed to, you could add a little coal black, but not necessarily. And then you could come back and you do like a little, if you needed to, you could do like a little bit of highlight on those upper tops of each board and like the broken areas.
Well,
but
and I
that's
like
all.
putting the coal black in there because it's got a little bit of the blue to it, which, I don't know, for me, it gives it a better shadow.
It does.
Like,
it can.
I like that, and I also like the fact that
it's literally
it kind
up to you.
because of the blue that's in it, it also gives it just a little bit more of a nautical wood feeling. I don't know.
Green is actually my preferred
Green is
for
good.
old wood. You want to get some green in there, so that's
I just realized something. By you putting this together, you have finally replaced my destroyed colossal. Because someone earlier mentioned the P3 weathering widget, and that reminded me of what happened to my Helios.
Here's a quick one for you, Dallas. Seth Conrad asks, how would you recommend priming the trenches that come with the blockhouse? They're the normal trench templates we have.
I would zenith highlight those and glaze them.
Same.
Prime them black.
Yep.
Zenith highlight, glaze them. Easy peasy.
So as far as like wood planks, like rotten wood and stuff like that, and as far as stone and some of the other stuff, there's actually a number of P3 videos that Brendan did for doing terrain stuff, and another one he did where he did the Trapperkin from Grimkin that covers the wood grain and stuff like that. Those are both great videos for both of those textures.
I used those recently to do some wood painting I was doing of my own.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna
that
turn on the blow
Trapperkin
dryer.
video is really good.
It's blow dryer time.
It is.
It's the
So
best time.
We've got Dallas muted for a moment so we don't kill ourselves and everyone else because I've got these headphones on and that would destroy me.
So while this is happening, and Dallas can't really hear us, y'all all agree that hedgehogs are better than otters, right? Like, I'm not saying anything bad about otters. I'm not talking trash about otters. They are adorable little water angels. But like hedgehogs, the little huffy face they make, their little noses. You ever seen a hedgehog without quills? There's a couple of them that are born without quills. Even without quills, those little monsters are adorable.
So, and to interject for a second, DeathTrap82 asks, what is a P3 weathering widget?
It's a chainsaw.
It's amazing.
It's a chainsaw.
Google search that.
Yeah.
Y'all just talking about Mon Park?
No, P3
Yes.
weathering widget.
Kind of.
Sorry, I'm holding this up against my chest.
Sinstar359 says, I make new looking wood super easy, base coat of moldy ochre, then flesh wash and a little brown ink super fast.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I did some like old weather beaten wood recently, and after I had like basically did a series of grays and then like highlighted it up, I went back with a light dry brush of some greens to build. Effectively, it looks like there's mold in between all the tiles coming up through it, and then just a series of different washes and glazes to get some like water stains going on. I was pretty happy with the results. It looked great.
While you're holding that for the fit, you see this question here from Alec.
How much do you think? How much do you think are going to assemble before priming, painting, or are you going to punish yourself and assemble it all and paint as one piece? I'm going to tell you right now. Brendan painted the studio Scar, And the only thing he did not put on the boat was the Statixis, Scar, and the 2 cannons, and he painted it just fine.
So this is actually my Skarre boat because I had it ready for doing this demo, and he's just assembling it, and I'm gonna paint it. And yeah, pretty much the exact same thing. Just gonna leave the metal pieces off, paint those separately, and then
Yeah, those cannons, I just leave the cannons off and
Skarre and the
Scar and the
Statixis.
Statixis. Which is like an 80s cartoon. Scar and the
Statixis.
Statixis, riding the waves of Cain.
Urcane, they're dead.
Oh, yeah. No, they're
They're
not.
not.
They're
not dead at all.
The soul wave is.
Yeah, but they're riding on top
They're
of a
riding,
boat.
yeah,
They're
they
not
are-
riding through Urcane.
They are riding.
They're not the Testament. Testament can do that.
Out on grand
don't
adventures.
care.
Which makes me think of the band Testament, which is coming to Seattle soon.
Oh.
I like your theme song though. Keep going. Who's the bad guy in that? In Skarre and the Statixis?
It's Scar and the Statixis. Yeah, they're the heroes. They're out to save the day.
They're the heroes.
They're
right?
having quirky adventures.
Versus Wet Blanket Striker.
What? No, I like Striker. What's wrong with Striker?
Who's the cartoon villain they face?
Cartoon villain?
We're talking like almost every episode, right?
Every episode.
This
Yeah,
is like
that's
this
good.
is like their
Yeah, it's their 80s.
Monstar.
yeah.
Like Monstar.
Who are they gonna go against? I
The Ghost of King Morcraig.
kind of want him to fight some Rulik dude.
Yeah,
Like
just
just some-
like Durgan Madhammer's
Yeah,
all
just
pissed
Durgan
off.
Madhammer.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
What about like some like rando like undead Orgoth dude?
I mean, Orgoth are cool. I might be doing something with a Orgoth model later today.
What about Beatbot,
The
the Squire
The
pirate?
Squire pirate?
The Squire pirate.
the rogue Squire pirate.
The rogue Squire pirate Beatbot.
He was
he
once
walks-
Scar's first mate, but then
Yeah. Beatbot,
Things
activate,
got ugly.
beat down protocol.
Dallas is doing more with the blow
All right, so while the he can't hear us again. Yeah, chat was kind of going off saying that they think otters are better than hedgehogs. And
I
then
agree. I agree.
somebody brought up manatees.
Sea cows.
Really, everyone, I appreciate and I respect everyone, and I respect your opinions, and I love many of you, frankly. But you need to know how wrong you are as a person. Hedgehogs are in fact the best.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Red Death. No one likes Striker. He's like the Scott Summers.
Go ahead, keep. There you go. Okay. So yeah, sorry about that small interruption. And you know we can prove this. If you hold a hedgehog next to a manatee,
Hedgehog wins.
hedgehog wins.
Hedgehog wins.
If you hold a hedgehog next to an otter,
Otter wins.
no. Otters are actually known to they just vomp away into another dimension, back to where they come from.
Which is why they're better.
What, Dallas? Don't pay attention to us. Just keep blow drying right now, man. We're having a conversation with everybody while you're blow drying the model. So yeah. Oh, you had it on cold? That doesn't work, man. I'm just cooling it off.
No, but to be fair, sometimes like if you get one of the blow dryers that does have like a cold air setting,
Yeah.
that can be nice after you get the fit. Like if you don't need both hands for holding the shape.
Sure.
Like if you can just do it with like a couple fingers, whatnot.
Yeah.
Using the cold setting to get it to set is actually pretty useful.
And I think really what I'm saying about that is that I will fight anyone over a hedgehog.
I think you and I are going to be fighting because otters.
All right, man. How'd that go, Dallas?
Oh, perfect.
So not only will you and I be fighting Hungerford, but it'll be a tag team of me and Dallas.
What are we talking about?
What the hell's happened when I was
Don't worry
gone?
about it, man. Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Otters, hedgehogs.
I ain't fighting no. God.
I ain't fighting no. I'm fighting words. So you're Danny's boss, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he.
Why is he on their net?
He made the Danimatronics joke again, and now he's just saying he asked what is Monstar. This kid.
He's also 14.
This kid.
Danny's
This is-
14.
Yeah, I swear to God.
This is also why we don't let Danny hang out with Adam.
Like Onion J says, Asphyxius is their bumbling boss, and I love that.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot.
Especially if he has like the classic '80s, like you girls have messed up again.
Yeah.
But he's all Shakespearean though.
Yeah. Thy girls have messed up again. The girls.
My girls have messed up again.
Is that how Asphyxia sounds?
In my head,
Yeah.
Not animated Mark Hamill.
no.
It sounded like you were trying to do like a Victorian era Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
Beatbot. Activate murder protocol.
Beep, beep,
Beep beep slash slash beep beep slash slash.
beep, beep. Cutlass.
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 Matthew Bunting says John is now my new favorite PP employee.
Okay.
Why?
No.
Did you say something about manatees?
Matthew Bunting says Danny.
You're gonna ruin it, Dallas.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
He also says that Green Lantern is the best superhero.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, look at Hunky's face.
There's things I can't say on the stream. Things I can say on other streams, but not this one. Surprised Matthew Bunting thinks that after the long conversations I've had with him about Batman.
One Up Kid asks a very, very important question. Hungerford, have you ever held up two of the Dracodiles and like guns and been like, I'm Gator Kane, pew pew pew?
I've done a lot of things with 2 Dracodiles in my hands.
We're gonna leave that right there.
Those are on other streams. Gator Cane.
Gator Kane.
So Raven asks, who would Mark Hamill voice in this cartoon? If not the bad guy. Because we have to get him for this. It's very important.
And the blow dryer just kicks right back on. Dallas is like,
Hungerford question goes to you. Does he voice Murderbot?
No, I think we actually need like a computer program to do.
Yeah, but it's Mark
Beatbot.
Hamill saying it and then fed through, like a vocoder.
I think that we could get him to do Skarre's pet hedgehog.
Oh my god, a little pirate otter?
A Potter?
No,
Piotr.
No.
A Piotr.
no.
So Dallas, where are you at right now? You just gluing your pieces together,
Yeah.
man? How close are you to finishing this this task for today?
This part, we're almost done.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've almost got the main body of the boat done?
Assembled, yeah.
Awesome.
I just got to stick on this bottom deck and put the soul wave on, and then we're ready for gap filling.
Woo woo. Which gap filling might either have to wait for another one or we might do an insider on it or something.
Yeah.
Because we are running
it's just
short
gap
on time.
filling.
That or I just might do it and just call it done.
Yeah. Boop, boop. I'm on a boat. Boop, boop. We got a boat.
Boop, boop. I sunk my boat.
Boop boop. Murderbot.
Murderbot, go.
It's Beatbot. Beatbot.
Oh.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, I got a little rough with that one. That was my bad. I gave force when I was waiting for the glue to dry.
Seth is trying to go over our heads and asking Seacat right now if Scar has a hedgehog or an otter as a pet. Por qué no los dos? Why not both? Don't go to Seacat. Don't go over my head.
Just some kind of weird quilly otter.
I control the message. When it's outgoing on the internet, I'm the final say. She has a cute little otter.
Matthew Bunting says, Will Hungerford, I apologize to you for everything I've ever said. You're a wonderful person, and I can't wait to see you at Lock and Load. Thanks for everything you've ever done for me. Thanks, Matthew.
That's very nice.
That's very nice of him.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that say? Hashtag go Batman. Yeah, agree.
No, it says hashtag Go Green Lantern.
No, that's not what it says.
Testing the fits and doing some glue to
That's my
finish up a
fault.
boat.
I totally
oh, yeah.
broke that piece off.
It
Not
just
paying
happens.
attention.
Sometimes you just bust things up.
I do.
What is modeling?
Painting measures is a fine art of correcting one's mistakes.
So is assembling.
Yep.
Doug Seacat. Crixian hedgehogs are really fierce and mean with blighted quills, but undead can handle them no problem. Well, Doug Seacat has just confirmed there are Crixian hedgehogs. And
I'm really okay with that.
my work is done.
Mhm.
I don't think I'll ever achieve anything greater than what Doug just made happen. Oh wait, no, I've got Chuck Dogwood work to do. Never mind.
Does Chuck Dogwood have a pet blighted hedgehog?
I can't see. I can't confirm anything. Doug is the gatekeeper of all lore. So
I
all
am
I
just
can
asking.
all
Whoever
I can
can
do
answer.
is spark the conversation, and Doug is the one who can solidify it as canon. And the fact that now we know Crixian hedgehogs are real and have blighted quills makes me tremendously happy.
Blight quills. Snip. 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 So in that lower deck, there's definitely a piece of feed gate that looks like a board. You just clip that off.
Bloop.
It doesn't really look like a board, but kind of looks like a board.
Matthew Bunting says, Lock and Load 2018, the gratitude of Matthew Bunting.
I know. He's a good guy. He is. We hung out at Gen Con a whole bunch.
You apparently just make his day.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. Good kid. He's okay.
Decepticats tried saying that Skarre needs both of the pets for ritual sacrifice. No. No, you are incorrect, sir. They might go out and fetch her a sacrifice, but they are not the sacrifice.
Dustin is saying, don't glue something in before the soul wave? What are you talking about, Dustin?
Well, that might be true.
Oh, he says it makes it hard to fit the wave in.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right, fella.
And now Dustin is screaming no.
No! It's okay. Professional. But yeah, the soul wave does fit in better. in the
Dustin
slot.
does say, well, Dallas is better than me, so there's always that. Good
did
look,
put one in
good looking out, Dustin. We got there.
We made it.
Sinistar says their dreams of lock and load are over for the next few years. They have a newborn, which costs them lots of money. Well, hey, congrats on your newborn, Sinistar.
May said child grow up to be a mighty gamer.
Yes. May they grow to respect and love the mighty hedgehog.
But not as much as the otter.
Dallas, would you paint someone's baby?
I mean, for the right price,
Yeah.
sure.
I'm not talking about Sinistar's kid. I'm talking about in general. If somebody walked up to you and was like, hello, Dallas Kemp. I will give you $3 American if you will paint my baby's face.
If the conversation starts at $3,
Yeah.
then probably not.
Okay, what's your price?
We're not talking about that.
Okay. we're not gonna actually say that on the stream.
No.
I will give you $5 American and a large taco to paint a mustache on my baby.
No. Oh, just a mustache?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'll do that for free.
You do that for free?
Why not?
Privateer Press does not condone painting babies.
Little adorable curly Q mustache on a little baby. Just paint it on for pictures to humiliate him later in life. Man, I'm all in.
You use deathless metal, give him a little metal mustache.
Little metal mustache.
Little metal mustache.
Okay, I might give myself a metal mustache.
But don't
That's
glue
kinda dope.
squires to the baby.
Don't
No.
glue squares,
Don't
baby.
don't
Don't-
make a squire mustache on the baby's face.
Don't
Hey,
glue things to babies.
don't glue things to babies. But if you were to glue things to babies, don't glue Privateer Press models to babies.
Don't glue things to babies.
Boop boop.
That's your
I'm
free
just waiting
life.
for this to dry now.
Boat.
That's your life tip, everybody. I almost said free
Okay,
life tip.
so as you're waiting for that to dry, and apparently scraping little excess bits, anything else that you can think of tools-wise that people will need for assembling and cleaning their models?
No, not really. I mean,
Like, it's pretty much all you need right there.
yeah. I mean, I didn't even really use the emery boards, but like,
A little bit.
you need a P3 hobby knife, right? Because this is your workhorse. This is your dog. This is your P3 clippers. You need clippers to cut away feed ports and stuff like that. You need some glue. Oh, my label's sliding off. What the I think my hands is all sweaty.
If the company would just use P3 glue to adhere the label on there, problem would be solved.
So use some glue and a blow dryer. And I got my resin kit together, and I just need to do a little gap filling.
And depending on the area you live in, and depending on the ventilation in the space you're working in, you might want to mask when you're filing and scraping resin.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Just to be safe.
Oh,
Safety first.
Always be safe.
We're giving health tips.
That one's a good one.
Don't
Not general health tips. Don't glue things to babies.
Don't glue things to babies.
Don't glue things to babies.
Don't paint your baby. Don't use a blow dryer and boiling water simultaneously to fix resin.
And speaking of resin kits, resin dust from sanding is hazardous. Always wear an N95 respirator and a wet sanding technique when sanding resin. Thoroughly clean your work area after working on this product.
So what Dallas is holding up there is the box that you could have.
Yeah, I don't know
If you go to
case you haven't
store.privateerpress.com, and that is the new bust of Saoirse Kratikov.
Commander, forward commander, Saoirse Kratikov is at it again, ladies. You must defeat her.
Do you need some help there, dog?
I hate opening these boxes.
You're not good at things.
I think it's
There's like a little thumb tab. There you go. Boom. Nailed it.
oh, it is fresh.
Well, yeah, it's the one.
It's still
The
warm.
it's the one I just bought.
So same way with this. It was like she's got some little ports here. Do you mind?
I don't mind. You do not need to clean my model. But of course I don't mind.
Boop.
So, but one of the reasons I wanted to have that handy is just this last week, we announced that busts is a new category for the Formula P3 Grandmaster competitions that you can participate in either at Lock and Load or at Gen Con. And since busts is now a category, we decided to make it so all of our busts are available while they last at store.privateerpress.com. You do not need to wait for a convention. Those are available. They are in the exclusive section, and you can get one at your leisure.
Pick them up, paint them up, turn them into the P3 Grandmaster. Let me give you things.
So
one of my
the
favorite
best part. So yes, the prizes are dope because yay prizes, and yay like being recognized for super awesome jobs painting.
And feedback.
The best part is the feedback. So much like Dallas was talking about getting that feedback from Ron Cruzy, you'll get that. You'll get the feedback from Dallas. You might get some feedback from Brendan, from Stu, from Jordan. All kinds of people are there who basically do this for a living. They do a really good job, and they will help you get better. And that is the best part of the competition as far as I'm concerned.
One of my 3 personal goals in life. One of them.
You're off camera if you were wanting them to see what you were doing. There you go.
One of my 3 personal goals in life. I only have 3 personal goals, and one of them is to help everybody become the painter they want to be.
That's a good goal.
So
I like that goal.
let me help
It's
you.
altruistic, but at the same time reasonable.
It's my only altruistic one.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. That and playing with otters.
That's not even a personal
But that's
goal.
just for you.
That's just life.
Seth asks, how much to get you to paint a mustache on his Saoirse bust?
You bring me the Saoirse bust, I'll just do it.
Boom. There you go. So whatever the cost is for you to get into Dallas proximity.
Dallas proximity.
We gotta get past the entourage first,
Yeah.
Is there
which
like
is
a?
basically just
I'm just imagining there's
a
like some
pile
sort
of
of
otters.
tone. Oh my god! I wish I had an army of otters. I would fight you.
You would fight him anyway.
No, in his hedgehog army.
Oh, dude, I have a hedgehog suit. I'm wearing them like a living carpet. You do not want, yeah. And I'm just gonna be like, boys, puff up, look like a Siberian bear hunting suit. And they'll be like, what is going on? And I just run straight at you, just collecting, throwing coins and rings at everybody. Man,
Bling 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 bling.
never come into my home. You will not make it out.
Wow.
Oh, hey, an actual.
You merely adopted the hedgehog.
I was born in
I
it.
was born into it.
Molded by it. Kaylin asked.
Now, go ahead.
Kaylin says, will any of these Zero casters, the new journeymans we just announced yesterday that are on cid.privateerpress.com right now, she didn't say all that, but Kaylin says, will any of the Zerocasters be available at Lock and Load? And is the Skarre bus still available? We have not said yet the first show that the Zerocasters will be coming out. We'll be making announcements on those as they come up.
Soon-ish.
So, yeah. But we haven't said yet, and we're not saying at the moment. And the Skarre bust is still available.
It absolutely is. All 4 of the busts
Currently.
are available right now
Currently.
at store.privateerpress.com. If we run out, we run out. They are still a limited item, but we are not restricting the sale of the busts to only during conventions right now because they are, as we were saying, now a category for the P3 Grandmaster. So we were like, we need to make those available so
Currently.
that people can buy them
Go
and
get it.
paint them.
Get a bust.
So
Paint
there
it
you go.
up.
All right. So as we close out, any other parting thoughts?
Patience, practice, perseverance is how you get through any large hobby kit and any painting project. Of course, measure twice, cut once.
Yep.
Right, and that like
And
you take that
test your
concept and
fits
apply it. So
lots before you glue.
right, well that's what that is. Measure twice, glue once. It's the same. It's the same thing. Like test, glue. Right, gluing is the cut, measuring is the test.
And so, I mean, this only took
just philosophy.
This only took about an hour.
Yeah,
right.
about an hour.
And this is a fairly robust model. So the fact that it only took an hour is not really that crazy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it's your first time doing it, or even if it's not, take your time.
Take your time.
And enjoy it. Like, get it to fit the way you want it to. Maybe you want more warping in the wood, or if you want, the ship to look even more derelict, there's lots of stuff you can do. Make it your own. Take your time and enjoy it.
And that's the thing is like I definitely noticed like over here there's a little spot where these two are.
I'm
there's a
leaving
little
that.
gap.
I'm totally leaving that. I'm gonna put like moss and like detritus and
Yeah,
stuff.
and
in
well
there.
you could
I'm just
also
gonna
you could
some
also
kelp
sculpt to
and
make it look more broken and stuff like
yeah.
that. So
Like I'm gonna do all kinds of stuff like that.
yep.
Alrighty, folks.
Before we get out of here, there's one last thing we should mention. Normally, as it says at the beginning of the cast, but I'll remind everybody, normally we stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday is the weekly Rumble at 10 a.m. Pacific. Wednesday is the Dev Chat at 10 a.m. Pacific. And Thursdays is Get Your Paint On Like You're Watching. But tomorrow, we have a very, very special Primecast Live, our
Primecast
variety
Live.
show. We're going to talk about all kinds of different things. Will Schick is off scientifically proving that hedgehogs are better than otters. And
Sure.
so my co-host...
So he'll be a while.
So he'll be failed.
No. So my co-host for this show is going to be none other than D. Kemp himself.
It's me.
B. Dallas.
Primecast Live.
Yeah, man.
Hungy in Dallas.
We're going to talk to everybody.
We got all kinds of cool stuff to
Dallas
talk about
Fort.
tomorrow as well. So, we'll cover like the normal stuff, right? So we'll talk about April's releases. We'll get some lore time with Getz and CCAT. We'll get the struggle of wills. I assume we'll talk about some of the CID and stuff like that that's going on. And then we'll have a couple of special things to talk about. We'll go over the Journeyman Zeros again in case you didn't get a chance to see the concept art for those. I'm told I should quite possibly have the concept art for Sorsha by then. Hopefully. It's still being worked on.
Probably.
There's a good
Maybe.
chance.
We'll see.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We like to do things right, so we don't rush things.
Nope.
But there's a good chance. And then also, like, just some other cool stuff going on. So make sure to join us tomorrow.
Yeah.
We will see you then.
So we're at the end of the show. In honor of Primecast, we're going to end with John. Play the drums.